2 of the Let's Get It podcast. I'm your host, Xara Kemp, and man, I'm super excited about our very first guest. Now, on Monday, I did give you guys a heads up that I was going to have a great guest here, and I am excited to say that she is here. This young lad here is a superstar. She is a straight A student. She just graduated elementary school, so congrats to that. She graduated top of her class. She is 11 years old. She's on the Junior Beta Club, the Junior National Honor Society. She is doing some great things. She's a self-starter, very audacious, self-motivated. She loves to dance, loves gymnastics, loves to eat, very slender, but loves food. And I gotta say, she's just a beautiful person inside and out. Her heart is huge. She loves hard. And I have to say, you're probably looking like, wait a minute. For some strange reason, that kid looks like her. And that's because she is my very own Xara Kemp. So here, my baby girl. Good man, I'm glad you're on this podcast because I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, when I asked you initially about being a part of the podcast and being my guest, how'd you feel?
I was like, oh, Lord.
Mom asking me to do...
What has my mom gotten me into?
Got you doing something else again, right?
Yes.
Well, I brought you on the show because, you know, this whole podcast is all about financial growth. And I have to say, what you've been doing lately during this quarantine time has been really, really impressive. And I just wanted you to share it. Like, quarantine is something else. It can bring out the best or the worst of us. You know, there are some folks who are at home in quarantine and they're about ready to fight their family. I've seen people getting divorced. Like, they're just over it because they're stuck in the house and they're just tired. Breaking the whole together gap sometimes, going to work, going to school, doing what you do. It makes the heart grow fonder sometimes. That absence bringing the heart closer is a real thing. But then on the flip side, you have some families who are really celebrating the fact that they're stuck together because maybe they were so apart, maybe way too often. And some are finding new talents, some are finding new hobbies, you know, some are finding new businesses. A lot is happening during this quarantine time. It's really a test to see how strong and how creative you can be. And I have to say, I brought Xara here because she has taken on a new task that I think is awesome. You've been stuck in your room, and I want you to share what in the world you've had going on.
So, one, I've been trading in my room, and second, I've been reading a lot of books about it.
She's 11. She says she's been trading. What are you trading?
I'm trading in stocks and currency.
Oh my gosh. Now, how are you trading?
I'm trading in a demo account, which is basically like Monopoly money, in a platform called forex or FX Choice.
Are you enjoying it? Obviously, because you hardly come out. What's so exciting about this trading, and why did you decide to even do this?
Well, one, it's like a game. So it's like when you win, it's like, oh my gosh, I finally passed this level. But it's like comparing to the winning on a stock market, it's like I just won more rush. Money. I just won like $1,000 or...
You feel like you're hitting jackpot.
Right.
Okay, so now I know you don't win all the time.
Yeah, I don't win all the time.
So what does it feel like when you lose? Do you want to quit?
It's not that I want to quit. It's like so upsetting. It's like, dang it, I was so close to making this amount of money, or I was so close to passing this level of this game. It's just so upsetting.
Now, it's interesting that you compared this to a video game. I mean, I guess that's the words of a
because of the emotional state.
And so you have a lot of emotions when you playing video games. Well, you don't really play video games too much, but it's still, I can see the comparison. And that's awesome. So, like, what sparked you to even want to do something like this, to get involved in trading? Like, you're 11. I didn't think you'd have any interest and getting into the market, for crying out loud.
Well, one, because every time I come in your library, you're in a stock market or you're in a type of currency, and I just get curious, and then I end up learning more, and then I end up getting hooked up about it.
So, well, I'm glad you've been watching. You know, it's amazing how our children actually are looking at us. You know, we think we're moving and shaking and doing things, but believe it or not, your kids are watching you. Your kids really are watching what you do. And so we have to be in check ourselves. You know, we have to hold ourselves accountable because there are eyes on us, even when we don't think there are. All right, so I want to know more about this trading thing. So first and foremost, let's kind of talk about your friends, because I know you are a social butterfly with your friends. And so do they know that you've been trading? Like, is this something y'all talked about, or this is something you just jumped out and wanted to do on your own? And like, what's going on with that?
Well, they never said they want trading or investing as a career, but they were interested and curious about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like introducing them, but not teaching them.
So now you're sharing this information. You're learning something and you're sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
What's their response like? What do they think about this? Do they think you're crazy? They're like, Xara, what in the world are you into?
Actually, no. They just act like normal people. They just say, wow, that's like a interesting way of earning money. But it's like when you since a lot of kids like to earn money, it's like I need to go in the stock market and get money myself.
Right. Now, because obviously you're my daughter, I've noticed your alarm going off, but you're out of school. So what's that about?
So my alarm goes off because it lets me know when and the stock market starts and when it ends.
So and that's 9:30.
Mm-hmm,
so you're watching the stock market. So what are you trading actually?
I'm trading in the Dow, which is the top 30 companies combined, and the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies combined, and the Great British Pound versus Japanese yen and the Japanese yen.
Wow. So currency, and that's interesting. And you're doing this, you said, in the demo account. So it's like you mentioned Monopoly money, and I'm assuming it's the actual market, but it's just fake.
Fake money.
So fake money in a real market.
Mm-hmm, they put money in your account for starters, and then if you win money, then it's not actual money that you win.
Right. It's not real money.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome. How else are you learning this investing? I see you brought a whole plethora of books. What is this about?
I did. This is the very first book I read from Amazon called I Am a Shareholder Kit. This talks about a lot about stocks, bonds, and what things have in the stock market.
Let's see here.
Is what I learned from Warren Buffett. About Warren Buffett.
Okay, and now Buffett is like the guru of investing. And so what do you know about Buffett? You know he started pretty young.
He started like at age 13 to 14, and he's a multi-billionaire, and he reads like 8 books each day.
Are you going to try to read 8 books a day?
No, I need to I need to bring that down.
Oh my goodness. So in this market thing, have you been making any money?
Yes, I have. I usually sometimes make $33, $37, $20 based on the market. But I would say it is a good thing to follow your instincts, because your instincts usually tells you if you're not 90% sure, then don't go in the market at all.
Oh, that needs to be applied to just everyday life. You know, we make some foolish decisions, foolish mistakes, all because we were not 90% sure about doing what it is that we were contemplating. So I think that's not only a good trading tip, but that's probably a really good everyday life tip. So, you know, you say you made $30-something every now and again. Does that mean I don't have to pay allowance?
No, you still pay my allowance.
Okay.
I need that extra money. It's like a job.
It takes money to make money, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so what other books you got going on here?
So this is the second book I started reading that I bought from Amazon, is How to Turn $100 into $1 Million. This one's actually really, really funny, but at the same time, it gives information about
how to turn
saving, earning, and investing.
$100 into $1 million. So have you learned how to turn $100 into $1 million?
Yes.
Is this something you're trying to work on doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean when you hit this million, I can get some shoes and dinner?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sound like a high five to that. Works for me. All right. What else you got going on? That looks like, what is that?
This is called Guide to Understanding Money and Investing. This basically kind of talks about your daily lives a little bit, plus the stock market. This talks about bills, stocks, options, bonds.
Is this like an introduction to money? It looks like it's an introduction.
It's like an introduction to money.
To the different types of money. So you're really learning a lot about money and how it moves and what it is and the different, types of money and assets that are out there. This is really, really some great stuff. So which of these books have you read so far?
I read 4 books. This is the only book.
This is a thick book here. What the world going on now? I know this was on the shelf and I was starting to read it. But this thing is really huge. So I have not gotten very far like I wanted to. But you have totally taken over. So first of all, is it a good book? And then this didn't intimidate you?
No, not really. I was kind of confident to reading the book because I'm like, if I can finish this book, I could probably finish that book.
Wow. Okay, so now you're reading textbooks. That's when it's real. That's when when you can spend the time and invest the time in reading textbooks, that's when it's like this is becoming real. So for you to go to this extent, are you considering this as a career?
I don't know. I want to see what my other plans for my career will lead up to.
But no matter what, I think this will be good information for you to know anyway. There's a lot to learn from this. Why was learning this important to you?
Because one, it's an easier way for me to start off. So it's like an easier way of making money so far. And it's not only that, but it's understandable for me. And for some reason, I sometimes think of beyond questions. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so are you following the news too with this, or are you just kind of reading the books?
I'm kind of just reading the books because I've been like so into the books and the stock market that I haven't really been watching the news.
You haven't been keeping up with the news. There's not a whole lot of fun stuff on there.
On the news, I do realize that they talk about quarantine a lot and stuff, so it's not really anything to watch the news for.
Right. Yeah. They have Bloomberg. Bloomberg, FYI, is a good place to go where they don't talk as much about quarantine. They're more focused on what's happening with the market. Now, when they do speak about things like quarantine and, the pandemic, they're really speaking about it in respect to how it affects the market. Everything is circled right back to the market. So if you want, when you go back, you can definitely look into that station. That's a great station if you just want to focus on the market. Outside of Buffett, is there anyone else that you have admired or you think?
Yes, I learned about 2 more people called Melody Hobson, and actually she's one of out of all like 30 white men, she's the first Black woman who's one of the top investors.
I don't think she's the first, but she's definitely up there. She's like one of the top.
No, she's like one of the.
Yeah, and she's very impressive. She's very, very impressive. Have a great academic and professional background. And that's so true. That's a great fact that you brought up, that there's so few African American women particularly, but even men who are at the top of the game in the investing cycle. I mean, this whole market, I don't know if you've known this, but this whole market was initiated by a group of white men. And they have dominated the market ever since. This was back in 1800s when these white men came up, and it was treated like a company. It was like a big boys club, as they called it. And you had to have a lot of money just to get into the market. So now they've opened it up where even small folk like you and I can get into the market and trade and invest. And there is a difference, so this is really cool that you're learning about this now. Do you think this is something you would tell other kids about? And
yes, because a lot of kids want to earn money early. They try to do chores to earn money. They have to make a deal with their parents to earn money. They will do whatever it takes to earn money because us kids, we just want to get money early.
Right. Yeah. You're always in our pockets.
Don't know why, but we just want to get money early.
Yes. But, quite naturally, money is a resource that allows you to buy things that you want. And even if you don't have anything in mind to buy, just having it makes you feel good. So I wouldn't think that this is something you would do like to get money like right now. This sounds like a long-term thing, something you would do for a while and let your money grow. So with that, you being such a young girl at 11, you can see your money grow by the time you get ready for college, you can have a little something put away on your own that you've done yourself. I think that would be really commendable. I think that's something Warren Buffett did, as a matter of fact, when he was young. So it's really interesting how you just adopted this new thing that actually is something even grown folk need to be more cognizant of, you know? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a moment and talk to your peers out there, because I don't think many of them know much about this. I don't think they're familiar with something like investing. And you said that you can do it in a demo too. So yeah, you want to take a moment and kind of share some fun information or some good information that can get them interested in wanting to explore this as well?
Yes, I would say that investing is an actual career, and if you want, you can let your parents sign you up on a demo account on FX Choice or Forex, Mary Trader, or YahooFinance.com.
That's some good stuff. Do you think they'll really enjoy it?
Yeah.
Could you imagine a bunch of young kids now, the new top dogs in the investing world? Wouldn't that be crazy? I think that'd really be crazy. But it can happen. It can definitely happen. Now, for the world out there, this is really a great note to take, because as you heard her say, these children can go out and start working and playing in a demo. And that's merely just to learn what this is all about, what money is and how money grows and how money can grow. And so starting on a demo, but once they have some level of understanding and can get the basics, and really Mike can teach you a few things, then I think it might be a great time for them to start taking maybe a piece of their allowance, if they're getting one, and apply it to their custodial account. So you can open up a custodial account for them and let them start earning and watching their money grow. I wouldn't necessarily say go in there as a young kid and start trading. Let that be an adult decision. But as a young kid, allow them to start seeing their money grow in the market. And that'll help them understand the language that is being spoken on the news, and understanding how what's happening in the news affects what could be happening with their money in the market. So I think that's something, and I would like to see you do more viewing of the news, because there is an interaction between the two, you know. But this is some great stuff, and this is exactly why I wanted you here. Were you nervous?
Well, not really.
I'm glad. I wanted you to be comfortable, because this is us just sharing information. That's all this is. It's informal. We're in our regular comfy attire. This is just us speaking to the world. So we just have fun here. We bring all kinds of people, young, mid-age, older, people with experience, people who are exploring. She's exploring. She's a newbie in the market. And I think it's great that you're sharing your experience with it, and that you're advocating for it as well. You're not just doing it, but you're actually advocating for it. So, and speaking of advocacy, wait a minute, I almost failed to mention, you are co-writing a book.
Oh, yes. I have a book called Young People Trade Too, for this one girl who wanted to buy an expensive gift for her mother because she wanted to do something big for her birthday. She wanted to find a way to earn money, so her dad suggested trading and every other thing that's easy for her to get money. She picked trading. So when she had picked trading, she had started reading a little bit, getting familiar, and then she ended up making this whole bunch of money, just this stack of money. And then her friend just wondered, where did you get all this money from? And then she taught her friend, and he started doing it too.
Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait till it's all done. I cannot wait are you excited about that?
Yes.
This is really, really cool. Well, I want you to keep up the good work. I definitely, keep up the reading. Are you reading 8 books a day?
No.
How many books are you reading?
A book each week.
I still think that's a great task. That's 52 books in a year. That's a great task. You know how much you can learn 52 books in a year?
A lot.
A lot of information. 52 different books. And you're doing it every year. So 52 books a year. You're 11 years old. I mean, that's a lot of books by the time you turn 18. Just by the time you get ready for college, you really could be well equipped to do this professionally, you know. But I wish you all the best with it. And of course, I love you. And I just respect that you are just such a self-starter, which is a great, you know, a great way to be, especially now. And it's always been, because that's where our future leaders come from. People like you. You know, they're born from people like you who are just looking for ways to make a difference, make a change. And by you sharing this to people of your age who may be unfamiliar with something like this, that is definitely a game changer, and an economic movement is amazing. And I would say keep shooting for it. So go ahead. You had anything else you want to share?
I want to share, this could also be good for economic growth for children and small Black businesses, because if they learn early, they could learn less and experience more as young people. So this could definitely get better for small Black
So let's make sure we understand that. So you're saying for small businesses, this is great for them because
they learned young.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And
started young.
If they just start so young, they just learn less as they're growing older, and they experience more because they learn so much that they want to actually experience it.
Yes,
now.
There's always room to learn more, even as you're older. Always room, and you can learn just as much as far as volume in your later years as your early years. But you absolutely are getting a head start. I totally agree with that. So yeah, the earlier you start learning things, especially when it comes to money. I mean, this, like I said, is the main resource that we use to live, to have anything. Buy food and water, you need money. To have a roof over your head, you need money. And so this is definitely a great way to make your money, your hard-earned money, grow. I think this is definitely much needed in every household, even if it's at a small scale. Even if you could only put $1 into the market or into some investment vehicle, I think it's worth it, because $1 compounds no different than, as far as quantity, yes, but it all has the opportunity to grow. Well, you have been a delight, and I am happy that you came. I hope you all out there have enjoyed her as much as I did, and I think this is going to be a great thing for these children to learn about. So please share, please inform your children. If you don't have any children, find a kid and inform that child, because this is really needed, especially in the minority communities. We need to teach our children about this. Well, like I told you guys, this is a new podcast. We are posting on Mondays and Wednesdays. So look forward to our channel and our new episodes every Monday and Wednesdays. Like us, subscribe to us, comment, share. Ask your questions. You can drop your questions in our DM on Instagram, or you can send us an email at iamstankemp@gmail.com. Look forward to your questions. I can take your questions and answer them on the next episode. So that way we all can have some new information and have some questions answered. I love you guys. We are closing financial gaps 1 million at a time. Let's get it.